Hi everyone, I'm Tamara Silvas and welcome to Awareness Speaks. Today I am going to talk about the upcoming energy in astrology. We're going to have Mercury going retrograde on the 14th and 13th of October and a full moon on October 31st. And I will talk about some other energy as well. And we'll talk about how it's going to impact us individually and then collectively, because you will see, and it will impact us in the US. It will impact Trump, definitely. If we don't hear news of something with Trump, even this judge coming out, we might begin to hear news. I will be surprised because this energy is hitting his chart. So I'm going to do another video on Trump, a separate video, but this could be why we are seeing him act kind of erratic these last few days. So as of today, as I speak, it's in the middle of the day in Europe and it's in the morning in the US on October 9th. So as I speak, Mercury is in Scorpio. We have the moon in Cancer and we have Neptune in Pisces. That is what we call a grand trine, and those are water energies. So a lot of emotion and a lot of feelings could be coming up. Along with this emotional stuff, you could also get a lot of creative energy with that Mercury in Scorpio. It could be, very passionate. So you have that Pisces aspect and that Cancer aspect, where it's the water, it's the emotional side of us. So if you can tap into that emotional side and see what is going on, whether you're looking to move forward in a project or in a relationship, because that Mercury in Scorpio is also psychological. So that Scorpio energy in astrology, it rules the 8th house, which rules psychology. So you want to look at that as well. Observe whatever is coming up for you at this time and the next days leading up to that Mercury retrograde. You will be getting a lot of insight, expansive insight, because Uranus is opposite Mercury in Scorpio, and it's also sextile the moon and a weak sextile to Neptune. So that is information that's spontaneous, it's revolutionary, it's erratic, it's disruptive. So the norm is not going to be, I don't know what's going to happen with this election, but the energy that is in the air right now could be the reason for some of Trump's erratic behavior, not to mention his steroids, but it could be part of this kind of erratic behavior that he is experiencing. So if you are feeling a bit nervous, a bit excitable, you could be feeling motivated, you could feel inspired. However it is hitting your chart, go with. Some people are going to feel extremely emotional. You could feel nostalgic. With that moon in Cancer, something with the mother or the family or your roots, you could be missing someone. That Neptune in Pisces, you may want to escape. That's escapism, and it's also you're not seeing things clearly, it's illusion. And that Mercury in Scorpio, it's getting to the heart, everything laying beneath the surface, everything that's been dormant or psychologically you've put down underneath and you've buried, like Scorpio are good at doing, could be wanting to surface at this time. You just want to make sure, however this energy is going to impact you, whether it's getting insight or information, or you're feeling motivated in some way for a new project, because this is very inventive, this Uranus energy, and it's in Taurus. But the Uranus energy making opposition to Mercury in Scorpio, you could be extremely innovative, because you can be seeing what you haven't seen before. So you can use this energy in a very positive way, in however you look at it. If you have emotions coming up and you're feeling a certain way, your relationship or your friendship or your career or something, observe whatever it is that's coming up, because whatever the people from the outside are hitting is usually something. People don't like to hear this, but it's something they're just hitting this dormant energy that's been sitting there before. Usually from early childhood of some sort. And people like to blame it on someone else, when not saying the person doesn't have their faults, which we all know, but whatever wounds we have, these people are also touching. So with this Uranus in Taurus, Taurus rules our sense of security and our ideals, how we want to feel secure. You want to look at that right now. So with the moon in Cancer and Uranus, a lot of security issues. People are going to probably feel insecure. If you've been feeling a little bit of insecurity, you may feel it a bit more now, and you may be like, I want out of here. You just might want to sit back, because this moon will change. Now this Mercury in Scorpio is the psychological energy again. So you can get to the bottom of your feelings too. So take a pen, paper, write down however you're feeling. Because with that Mercury in Scorpio, you could say things that you regret later. Scorpio can sometimes have a strong tongue. So be very careful what you say, because you may regret it later. With this Taurus energy, our value system, what we value, who we value, do we value ourselves? With that Uranus in Taurus, it's all about security and your values. Not only money, but your value, your personal values, value system. And with Mercury in Scorpio, Scorpio rules the other financial house. It's also our intimacy. It's also other people's money. So all of these areas might be coming up for you at this time. So if it's not in that emotional sense, then use it in the positive sense of, okay, how can I use this? I'm feeling kind of energetic from this Uranus touching all these areas in the chart right now. Where can I use this inspiration? Where can I put this? Write this down. So in the end of November, you can then really begin to move, because Mercury will be going retrograde, which I'll be going into in a minute. And we have Mars retrograde right now in the sign of Aries, and it's been retrograde already 5 months. And when it's done, it will be a total of 6 months. So if you haven't seen movement, Mars has been in Aries, its natural placement, but it's been retrograde for 6 months. Or it's been retrograde, not quite 6 months, but it's been in Aries. It'll be in Aries for 6 months when we're done. But it's been retrograde. I can't remember when it went retrograde now. With my father's passing, I kind of lost track of the timing. But it's been a while. So if you haven't seen movement, it's probably because this Mars is retrograde. Mars is all about movement and straightforward and taking charge. So if things have seemed like they've gone backwards, don't worry. by the end of November, hopefully this energy will begin to move, because Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn were also retrograde. And now, since the beginning of October, these energies are all direct as well. So I don't know what will come up today in your life or in the world, in the universe, in the US, because we have Mars at an exact square with Pluto. Those energies, they are a strong exchange with each other. Whenever you have a square opposition in astrology, it's strong energy. Mars is also the energy of war. I don't know what Trump, this is going to be hitting some areas in his chart. I don't know what is going to be coming up with him. But Pluto is in Capricorn at 22 degrees. In numerology, those are power numbers. We are going to see power struggles. I hope he doesn't, I hope there is not chaos on election day. Now, this Mars will be more retrograde on election day, but leading up to that, we may see a lot of chaos and upheaval, especially with this Uranus opposition with Mercury. So, okay, now let's get to Mercury retrograde, which will be going retrograde Mercury on the 14th in the US and the 13th in Europe. I even think now that I'm talking, I see myself in the video. If my voice doesn't match my video, this is Mercury retrograde. I see it. It looks like I'm in slow motion. I'm not going to redo this video. So just know that this is what Mercury retrograde does. Mercury rules communication. It rules the mind, and it rules electronics. Electronics can start to act crazy. Your computers, your car, anything that moves. Anything to do with communication, also travel. So if appointments or your travel arrangements change, know that this has something to do with Mercury retrograde. Now, Mercury does not go backwards, but in astrology, it appears to be going backwards because the energy, its view from Earth, it appears like it's going backwards when really it's just slowing down. And it's interesting that my video is going in slow motion. So this is quite ironic. So this is very telling, so I'm just going to leave it because this is how it is. So Mercury, you naturally begin to slow down. The mind begins to slow down. Everything begins, you go more introverted. Things don't seem to be moving. You might say things that you regret. So during this time, especially with Mars retrograde as well, use this time to go inward. If you're having conflict or you're confused, great time to talk to somebody, especially with Mercury in Scorpio, the psychological. Great to see a counselor or a life coach or someone that can help you and assist you at this time. It's not a great time to buy electronics. As you can see, you can have strange problems with them. And it's not a great time to begin something because the energy is not forward moving, especially from Earth's point of view. It appears to be going backwards and it's slower. So within the next 3 weeks after the 13th, things will slow down. You may not feel like being around people. You may not feel like going out as much. That is fine. With Mars retrograde and Mercury retrograde, it's a great time to write down how you want to proceed once this retrograde is over. Because you'll be getting a lot of information with this Uranus energy and opposite Mercury. You should be receiving a lot of insight and information. So it's a time to step back. Double check your work. Double check your calendar. Try to give yourself extra time being somewhere. Also, be very cautious of people around you. While you're driving, especially when we'll get to the full moon on the 31st, but during this time with this Uranus energy, people might be acting a little bit more crazy, a little bit more erratic, especially getting up to that full moon at the end of the month, which I'll get to. It's a good time to just kind of chill. We're in autumn, we're in fall, as you call it in the US. It's a good time to let the leaves fall off. Let that stuff fall off. There's a reason why the leaves are changing during this time. There's a reason why the leaves fall at this time. So if you take some of these inspirational insights that you receive and make notation of them, once this energy goes forward, you can use all of this information, because this Uranus energy is revolutionary. So let's hope that they can, once it makes a stronger aspect to Pisces and to Pluto, let's hope that they come up with a cure. And I would say even with Aquarius, it's going to make some square at some point. Let's hope that's rules science. Let's hope they come up with a cure or a vaccine for the coronavirus. Now we're going to go into the full moon of October 31st. At that time, again, we are going to have Uranus at 8 degrees Taurus, the moon at 8 degrees Taurus, and the sun opposite those two energies at 8 degrees Scorpio. Again, if you don't have to go anywhere on the 31st, I would just stay home. Honestly, people may be acting a bit crazy, may be acting erratic. Be careful when you're driving, when you're walking around. Always be aware of what you're doing, especially in the US. I don't know how people are going to be acting. And this energy could go up until, the third of election, which I don't think they're going to have a winner on election day, because that is the end of Mercury retrograde. It goes direct on the 3rd. So I don't know what is going to happen there. But on the 31st, we are going to have very strong energy. Take this opportunity to let the leaves fall off the trees. That's completion, it's endings, it's release. It's coming to fruition. So some people might see certain projects coming to fruition at that time. A lot of times we will get information during a full moon. So anything that's, started or began before can become complete during that time. So again, you could have a lot of revelations. Write this down. Great time for taking note. This is the darker energy, that Scorpio energy. It's intense, it's passionate. People will want to get their point of view across. People will be feeling passionate. You'll have this Mars and Pluto energy square as well. We have strong, strong energy in the air. Either use it to your benefit and come up with great ideas, or become aware of your feelings and emotions and try to deal with them in a civil way, not a reckless way. My objective here with bringing this information is to bring awareness. That is my goal in life. And that is why I use astrology. I use it to bring awareness, not to talk and plan and give an outcome of something, but to bring awareness. So I'm hoping today I have brought some awareness to you as to the energy that you can expect in the upcoming month. I'm sorry for this video, but I'm going to leave it like that, even though it's disturbing. I'm going to leave it this way because it really shows you what Mercury retrograde is all about. Again, my name is Tamara Sylvestre. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be putting out other videos in the coming months, not just of astrology anymore, but of different subjects that I have taught and I have learned throughout my 57 years on this earth. Thanks for watching. Again, my name is Tamara Sylvestre. Have a great day. Bye for now.